They've just announced that there's going to be a Han Solo spin-off movie, which is exciting everyone who's a fan of the series. Han Solo is arguably the most popular character in the entire Star Wars franchise. It's going to be a sort of prequel explaining how Han Solo became the roguish thief and scoundrel that he was before he joined the rebellion. It's going to be helmed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. You might remember them from the Lego movie, the 21 Jump Street movies. They're super talented guys, and they feel that they're a really good fit for this. They're guys who really like the source material, so they're very excited about it. It's going to be a prequel, so Harrison Ford, he's getting a little up there. He will not be reprising the role of Han Solo, so it's going to be pretty big shoes to fill. You don't know who's going to do it. Chris Pratt's name's been thrown around a lot, but he's also being considered for the Indiana Jones reboot. A lot of up-and-coming young talents, guys who are really good and are starting to get their name out there. Or they might go with like an unknown, someone who has like no credits to their name, kind of like how Harrison Ford was when he got the role. So, I mean, I personally think that Han Solo, the actor, needs to be charismatic, needs to be ruggedly handsome, he needs to have a good sense of humor about things, but handle the action sequences with great ease and aplomb. Someone who just really just pops off the screen, someone who just says, maybe you don't know who I am, but, I mean, box office money, here it is. Let's give it a shot to someone that we don't know. Can you think of anyone? So one person who doesn't seem to be super thrilled about the Meek Mill-Nicki Minaj relationship is Joe Budden. And it's not so much that he doesn't like them together, he doesn't like how they act around each other. Specifically Meek Mill. He thinks Meek is too hardcore of a rapper to be acting so lovey-dovey with her in public on the BET Awards and everything. So he said this during his podcast. He says, I hate everything about this. He even brought in like light skin versus dark skin and saying, I'm glad a dark skin guy's doing this because us light skin guys, we get all the baddest bitches. Meek Mill started being like, look, I can't believe you're saying this about me. I brought you up on stage and the crowd didn't like you. This is how you repay me. You shouldn't be commenting on this. You look really salty and really bitter for no reason. So Joe tries to backtrack, and Joe's the master of the sneak diss. So he starts off kind of apologizing, but not really. And he's like, first of all, wasn't a diss. And second of all, you're not good enough to rap like me to make this a battle rap scenario. So Meek, of course, wasn't going to leave that alone. And so Meek's been going around the radio stations and being like, no, this guy's corny, he's cheesy. Why would another grown man concern himself with my personal relationships? He should focus on his own stuff, especially since he's never really done anything. So Joe Budden finally came back out and was like, look, there's no beef. I want to say I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I think you guys are a good couple. And then it was brought up, is there going to be a possible battle rap maybe between you two? And he said, no, because I'm from Slaughterhouse, and we rap with Eminem. He's from MMG, he raps with Rick Ross. And basically implied that he would just destroy Meek Mill in a battle rap, which I thought was a very clever sneak diss. I think that if Meek Mill and Joe Budden were to rap, Meek Mill, I think, is an underrated rapper. I don't think he's lyrically as strong as Joe Budden is. Budden, I think, is super underrated. But as we saw when he battled Hollow the Don, sometimes he can let his emotions get the best of him. So if we're going strictly on talent, I'd give the edge to Joe. But Meek Mill, I think, is probably thicker skinned. So in terms of throwing bars back and forth, he could probably keep his emotions in control a little better than Joe. It'd be something I would love to see. I would love to see it just on record. Don't want it to turn into a macho street thing and have people have their groups try to go at each other for real. If we just keep it just strictly musically, I think it'd be fun for everyone. I think this next story is great. It's about a Brooklyn rapper named Prince Harvey, whose life was kind of not going that well as he was trying to make his rap album. He was getting evicted from his apartment. He didn't have any money for a new computer, and his old computer kept crashing. His hard drive kept going up. He was losing his files. So anytime he would make progress on his album, he'd lose it. So what he decided to do was he went to the Apple Store in Soho. He befriended two of the employees there who kind of gave him a little bit of leeway. And for 4 months straight, he recorded his album. He just secretly on the display computer. He would just put it all out there. He sang, he rapped, and he even did the beats himself. Like, and I don't mean like went to Pro Tools or Fruity Loops and did it himself. I mean with his mouth, like Bismarck, he made the beats himself. I'm very excited to at least listen to it because as the story kind of blew up, it showed like, wow, this guy got knocked down, but he wasn't down for long. He showed his ambition and just sort of his work ethic, and he wasn't going to quit at all. Here at Hip Hop Movie News, we are rooting for you, Prince Harvey, and congratulations on being a super genius when it comes to putting together your album for free, and way to ruin it for the rest of us because now we know that Apple is going to lock down security and none of us will be able to do that. Gangrene is providing us with the song of the week. It is called Hot Pillow.
The rap Kojak Telly Savalas, doped up off the trees like koalas. Convert a Batmobile from an Impala, chop the top off like tomatoes and lettuce from La Scala.
Gangrene, of course, is the team of The Alchemists and Oh No. These guys are both rappers and producers, and this song shows off what they do best. These guys got a really good chemistry. They've had this chemistry ever since they got together, kind of on a whim. A friend was like, hey, you guys should meet and do a project together. They did. They said everything's clicked since then, and they make a very solid pairing. And this song is very indicative of just what they bring to the table. The movie I reviewed was Selfless this week. It stars Ryan Reynolds and Ben Kingsley. It's about Ben Kingsley, who is this rich aristocrat businessman who is dying of cancer, and he finds this new medical process called shedding, and it allows his brain and subconscious to be put into a brand new body that was made in the lab, and it resembles Ryan Reynolds' body. He's able to go out and he's able to party out with Derek Luke and have sex with different girls all the time and just enjoy all the riches that he's worked his entire life to get while being a young man. And the twist kind of comes in the middle when he finds out that his brand new body is not exactly what he thought it was, and there are some side effects. I don't want to get too much into it because there's a lot of cool spoilers and twists I don't want to ruin. It's a sci-fi, so I don't follow all the logic of everything because most of it's made up. I try not to fault them for that. There were a lot of, I don't know if you'd call them plot holes or just questions raised in terms of not motivation, but just how people get away with things and how like you kind of forget about characters and like what happened to them. So I'm sure a lot of people will be like, oh, that doesn't really work out. But this was a fun movie. It was definitely worth my time and money. I give this 2 ticket stubs out of 3. It was a big surprise for me. I'm not sure how well it's going to do at the box office. It's got a lot of competition, but it's definitely worth checking out at some point in your life. Thank you guys so much for watching Hip Hop and Movie News. And keep on sending in those 15-second submissions, the freestyles, and the movie scene selections, the reenactments. This week, they come from Third Eye Trill Empress and Dr. Goon 503. Till next week, remember me as Han Solo. Oh, he didn't even have a lightsaber. I'm probably not right for this.
All I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. Do you understand?
Time again to time out my time. Trying to make it shine like a timeless diamond. I put time and design every time I'm rhyming. No timeline on the line, I'm a line and I'm alive and I'm a lion. I'd be lying if I told you the goons in the streets better look over your shoulder. Rather be chilling in the sheets with a hoe. Lot of Netflix.